24 hours, 300 people try to talk to me. And it's insane. Never in my life that happened. I mean,
you even had date same day, I believe, too, right? So.
Yeah, as I said, I did meet one person that same day, so she was nice. I was surprised that it can happen so fast. Yeah.
What were your expectations coming into it? Of like, okay, well, I think this is a thing. Yeah. What were you expecting?
I mean, as a person who's been dating for 3 years, I know I was a bit skeptical. Right? Okay. So I thought, okay, Caleb knows what he's talking about. Let him take the steering wheel, and be in the driver's seat for me. And so he showed me the way. Then I'm spending all my time talking to people now. I just don't have time. So he has given me new problems to solve, which are good problems, I think. Being on the other side of this coin is a good feeling. Obviously, I think anybody who comes here and does this will realize that this is an eye-opener.
Okay, cool. What's going on, guys? Caleb here, and I'm with one of the first clients of Datelinked, Powell. Powell, if you want to take a moment just to introduce yourself and sort of give your background. And today we're going to talk about his experience, with dating and some of the stuff we were able to do with the power of Instagram, artificial intelligence, and also some of the benefits of living abroad. But yeah, Powell, if you want to take a moment just to sort of talk about your background, sort of your experience, just your professional career, and then we can talk about more of the dating specifically after.
Okay. Hey, I'm Powell. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. As most people there are, I'm a software engineer. I've been doing that for a while. Worked for many places, and now I'm sort of like a remote worker. I try to do that so I can travel and see places and experience things.
Yeah, and we met here. We're in the beautiful city of Medellin right now, for those of you guys who are curious. And yeah, me and Powell met how many days ago now? Was it?
4 days.
4 days. 4 days. All this is unfolded in 4 days.
Yeah.
And over the last 4 days, we've been able to do what I feel, well, I don't know how you want to say it, almost a complete transformation, I think, of just the abundance or number of options when it comes to, who you can date. And also, I think just really feeling your value as a man, and truly like the attractiveness that you have. But yeah, you want to talk a little bit about sort of what was your dating experience like prior to some of the stuff we were able to put into place?
Yeah. So I think in managing, I've used the apps like I guess most people do. I've been here 6 times. I've used the apps and they never really work for me. Somehow in managing, it's a very difficult place I found for myself. You swipe a lot. Very few conversations are with real people who want to date you. Most people just ask for money, which is definitely not fun. So the conversion rate from dating apps is extremely low, and to be honest, nowadays we all kind of know that dating apps have become more dangerous because people are targeting foreign men in Tinder, in Colombia. So I didn't want to use it that much. So yeah, I think this using Instagram is a great area. I always thought that Instagram is a great place to meet people, but I never really know how to do it properly until Caleb showed me, and it turned the whole thing around. Now I just sit back and don't do any swiping, and I get to talk to people and make friends and meet people. So that's really amazing.
Yeah. Well, even before Medellin too. I mean, if you're comfortable sharing it for the audience, I think there's a lot of people out there that would have very similar stories or experiences when it comes to just dating overall. I mean, dating is not, finding a good partner is just not an easy process. Let alone trying to do it, I feel like now in today's day and age where, there's toxic masculinity and all the different challenges and stuff that have come up. But yeah, I mean, if you're comfortable sharing, I'd love to, I think our viewers would love just learning more about sort of where was dating at prior. I mean, you were even married too prior to this too. So it's not like he's brand new to the dating game, but yeah, if you want to take a moment just to talk.
Yeah, so I was married for a long time and divorced a few years ago. I did start dating a year after my divorce, and that was when the COVID ended. So that's when you can meet people. I did have a few relationships back in the States, and after much difficulty, after swiping endlessly and meeting really few people, and from that pool, it was really like 2 relationships I had there. I would say I've never dated before using the apps because I was married for a long time.
Yeah.
Right. So I was never on the apps. I did not know how they work. I was never on social media. So I had very difficult time finding a good partner. I mean, I thought it was easy because of the dating apps.
Well, that's what they promise you.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, well, you
Yeah.
just sit there and swipe. And
Yeah,
get all these
like, I was like,
options.
why in the hell would nobody match me? And it took me a while to understand why.
Yeah.
But I will not get into why they wouldn't match me, but the people are difficult to find, and it's a total waste of time trying to use dating apps in countries like US and probably other first world countries. I stopped using them because it's
Yeah.
just that and that was my experience. I think the quality of people I have to date is low, and then the time I have to spend to find it is extremely too much time. So it's not.
Well,
it's
and
not
also
worth it.
too, you're a full-time professional as
Yeah.
well in this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have a successful career. I mean, so
Right.
much so that you can travel abroad. And
Yeah.
for those of you guys who might, if you find his Instagram, you can see that he's been to many places. You know,
Yeah.
he's a high-value man. He's, you don't get to this position in life without, having actually tried and worked. And I've been on the other side of that too. I'm sure everybody's felt a little bit of that, which is, you have value as a person, but it's just how do you get the receptivity of people to understand that? And if anything, maybe you question your value sometimes because you're like, well, I thought I'm a good person. I do all the right things.
Yeah.
But so what were your expectations coming into, date linking and Instagram and sort of, we actually met pretty funny. I saw you trying to do some of the same things.
Yeah.
But what were your expectations coming into it of like, okay, well, I think this is a thing. What were you expecting?
I mean, as a person who's been dating for 3 years, I know I was a bit skeptical. Right? Okay, Caleb has a lot of success, but Caleb is a good-looking guy, a smart guy. So maybe that was why.
It's all the facial hair.
If
I
maybe.
take this off, I look like a 12.
So he's got the game perfected. So I thought, okay, he saw my ad on Instagram, and he like, hey, I can. Help you, because I was doing the ad thing on Instagram. It was not really working so well. I did twice before I met Caleb, and I get like 5-10 people that I meet and like fizzle out. No, I never met anyone in real life. So I thought, okay, Caleb knows what he's talking about. Let him take the steering wheel, and be in the driver's seat for me. And so he showed me the way. So and then I'm spending all my time talking to people now. I just don't have time. So he has given me new problems to solve, which are good problems, I think. Being on the other side of this coin is a good feeling.
Yeah. Well, so just to talk numbers for you guys, I mean, how did you feel about the results? And then I'll tell them the actual stats.
Yeah, I mean, I can quote the numbers, right? I mean, in 24 hours, 300 people try to talk to me. And it's insane. Never in my life that happened. I mean, obviously, I think anybody who comes here and does this will realize, and they have that if they have not done this before,
right.
Or if they're not Brad Pitt, they will find that this is an eye opener.
Yeah. No, I remember the first time that I tried, date linking for myself, and yeah, it's hard to conceptualize, especially talking about this. So for context, in 24 hours, well, this is over a 4-day window. One day was just getting your profile on point. Next day was actually, I think, just getting your exposure, running the actual ad, and letting AI do the work. And then one day was you just dealing with the inflow. Once again, 300 women. Well, not all of them are qualified, right? But 300 people raised their hand and said, "Hey, I'm interested," or "Hey, what's your name? How are you doing?" And then from there, you do the numbers game and find your favorites. But yeah, one day setting up the profile. 2 days dealing with 300 people inboxing you, and that's pretty aggressive.
Yes, too much texting.
And then, and then one day here, and later today, supposously you've got.
People to meet.
Yeah, I kind of too. And if you're comfortable sharing the Instagram too, we could put a flash on the screen or whatever.
Sure.
Mouse's date.
Think it's going to capture from that far?
No, but you don't have to show it if you send it to me after the fact.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and so I mean, this is really just I feel like the beginning of what's possible, and even having met with Powell today, there's a lot of different things that could be done to, further streamline the process. But I guess what do you see in the road that lies ahead, the future lies ahead? When it comes to
I would stop using Tinder. It's a waste of money and time.
Yeah.
Which is time is more valuable here for me. So I would I would try using Instagram more, try to be better at it, and also take scale-ups feedback and help on. I'll try this in places I go and meet amazing people, make friends, which is really my goal, is to meet amazing people and make friends and have fulfilling life experiences.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's really the purpose of, I'd say, there's one quote that's like, the quality of your life is really determined by the quality of relationships and the people that you have. And so just to get that much abundance immediately, and also I think to know that many people want you, there's people who are like, Powell, like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? You even had same day, I believe, too, right? So.
Yeah, as I said, I did meet one person that same day, so she was nice. I was surprised that it can happen so fast. Amazing.
Yeah, well, and what would you say for anybody who is skeptical about the process and really what is truth is? Because I think for a lot of people, the idea of using Instagram, AI for dating, it's so foreign. I mean, I think we're all taught, got to go out to bars, cold approach, dating apps. That's really the way of doing things. This is completely counterintuitive. I haven't seen anything like this before. I don't know if you have.
No.
But yeah, what would you say for anyone who's skeptical, who might be sort of at the right before where you were at before you came to Medellin? What would you say to someone who's maybe just out of a divorce or is coming back from the dating game, maybe spent some money, or what would you say?
Yeah, unless you are the top 5% of men, and you know what I'm talking about, there's no point using dating apps in Western countries, and so I think even in other countries, dating apps are dangerous and doesn't work all the time. I think they're a waste of time. Now that I know this method, I would not really go back to dating apps. Work on yourself, work on your image, and put yourself out there and let people reach you. That's how it should be. If you feel like you are good and you want people that like you to talk to you, you shouldn't be spending all of your time instead of not doing your work or not doing other things in life. So I would say this is the best way to click on the ad. It runs for you. People message you automatically, and then you on your time you pick and then you talk to them based on what you like, which is a great feeling. It's inverted the problem. That's good.
Yeah. And now you got more messages and people in there, I feel like you know what to do with. So from one problem to the next, you go from not having enough to having too many.
Too many messages. That's no problem. I think Caleb is going to solve for you guys too. So
well, sweet. Yeah. So it was absolutely incredible, having met and worked with you, Powell, in this. And once again, I was so happy for 4 days. 4 days is all this took to completely do 180, 300 people, a silver platter coming up.
We spent like maybe 2.5 hours working on my Instagram and things. It's not like we spent 4 days working on things. So it's like you spend 2-3 hours if you have a decent Instagram, and then fix up an ad for you.
And we're just at the beginning too. I mean, this was like 4-day fast. Now that you know this, everywhere you go, you probably get different content, get different things, and then it'll only continue to evolve over time. It's been an absolute pleasure. And for those of you guys who are curious and want results similar, just like Powell here, go ahead and click the link to book a call down below. And Powell, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks for your time.